This is a quick 3-minute demo of Invoice Transformer, a GP Elements product developed for Dynamics GP. Invoice Transformer offers flexible control over your customer invoicing. The features provided enable you to consolidate SOP invoices for all items shipped to a customer. It also includes the option to produce summarized SOP invoices without losing the detail and accounting of the items shipped, maintaining a full audit trail of all invoice transformations, which are easily viewed in the inquiry window provided. The Invoice Transformation window provides all the required features for consolidating your SOP invoices. To consolidate, invoices must be for the same customer and currency, but can be across different purchase order numbers. In the Invoice Transformation window, select the target invoice number in the New Invoice Number field. Then select the Source SOP invoice number in the Original Invoice Number field to retrieve all its line items. Check the Transfer box for the lines that you wish to move to the new invoice. The checked invoice lines will be moved from the original source to the new target invoice, transferring all its details with it. In this example, you can see that the item has been successfully moved from the original source invoice to the new consolidated invoice. The Invoice Transformation Inquiry window displays the audit trail of all the invoice transformations. Selecting the new invoice number, the window displays the invoice lines that were transferred into it, including the corresponding original source invoice numbers. Alternatively, by inquiring on the original source invoice number, you're able to see where the lines for that invoice were transferred to. Invoice lines can be combined or grouped if they are for the same item and unit price. For example, if a line item has a quantity of 2 on one invoice and 10 on another, then you can combine the quantities at consolidation so the new invoice shows a single line item with a quantity of 12. For this scenario, in the Invoice Transformation window, select the target new invoice number, then select the original source invoice number. Check both the transfer and combine checkboxes for the invoice lines that need to be moved to and grouped on the new invoice. In our example, you can see that on the consolidated invoice, the applicable line item quantity has increased with the addition of the quantity from the source invoice line. When all lines have been transferred, the original invoice is moved to a void batch and must be voided or deleted manually. The mirror option is applicable for the scenario where you're consolidating multiple invoices for different items but only need a single line item on the consolidated invoice for the customer. Manually add a line item to the new invoice for the full invoice value and use the mirror option to consolidate all the multiple invoice lines to the consolidated invoice. In our example, we're transferring the line items from 3 invoices to our consolidated invoice. The consolidated invoice already had our manual line item for the full invoice value. The mirror option transferred 2 compensating lines to the new invoice for each line item transferred, resulting in a zero value net effect on the new invoice, whilst correctly tracking all the inventory and accounting entries. That brings us to the end of this video. Please visit gpelements.com for further information.